What do you to this your boy Jerry Speech, and since last night, since the video that I made, just some odd reason just failed from uploading, I had to redo it again. But here it is. Last night I watched American Horror Story Cult, season 7, episode 1, election night, and it really gripped me right from the start because it really took the hysteria that we felt as people and really put it into the episode. I really loved the theme that it had, where pretty much, if you remember the scene where the guy was speaking at a congressional hearing, he said, fear has taken over freedom, because he wanted, people to express freedom instead of fear, because if you remember correctly, during the election campaign and everything like that, after the election, everyone was either pissed off or afraid or happy, or a combination of all three. And in the episode, this woman by the name of Allie, her wife, Ivy, and their son, Ozzy, mainly Allie, she has a deep, immense fear of, chlorophobia. Chlorophobia, which is a fear of clowns. I believe agoraphobia, a fear, or I believe a fear of blood as well. She constantly freaked out, especially during the grocery scene store. She goes in there now. There's virtually no one in there except her and the cashier. She hears Trump's speech on the TV and she just looks at it in disgust and said, "Oh my gosh, can you believe that? What he's saying? Can you believe?" And then the cashier's like, "Yeah, he's the realest president that we've had in the office." He puts on his make America great again cap. Just makes her just turn away and go throughout the aisles looking for stuff. And so as she's going down the aisles, she literally sees, two clowns, engaging in a sexual encounter, which makes her freak out, because she thinks, no one else sees anything but her. She swears to God that she's seeing these clowns do these things, being chased with a knife. She was throwing bottles of rosé, and even after she called her wife Ivy, she called the police. The police saying that they didn't see anything. The cashier said that you were just screaming down the aisles, throwing bottles of rosé. There was nothing there. And so she goes to her therapist. Your therapist suggests you need to get out of social media, turn that stuff off, and get back into your life. Exercise, things of that nature to keep your mind off things. He prescribed her some anti-anxiety medication. And even then, at the beginning of the episode, we look at the life of a young college student by the name of Winter, who has self-harm issues. She was getting ready to go back on that as soon as she heard the news that Donald Trump had won the presidency, had won the election. And her friends started to talk her out of it. And then it's really, I love how they took the very beginning and tied it into the end. I love how they did that. So because in the ending of the episode, you saw, towards the end I should say, you saw how Winter became the new nanny for Ozzy after Allie and Ivy smooth things over, talking about their marriage, because Allie, if you recall, in the beginning, Ozzy was reading this thriller comic named Twisted, about this slasher clown who kills couples. We even got a good scene about that as well. A couple making out in the field, enjoying each other's company, and then all of a sudden he comes out there and he slashes them. And so we see that as well. And then you see Winter becomes the nanny. She gives her background, says she was a college student getting her bachelor's degree in English, but she, like many other girls on her campus, she took the time off to help support Hillary Clinton in her campaign. And so you obviously see her trying to instill some fear in Ozzy, I guess, going to the dark web, having Ozzy watch, horrific stuff, him not liking it at first, closing the laptop, and then witnessing a murder of the Changs. Now, if you remember the murder scene, you notice this one man who was at the congressional hearing, actually going against what the man at the podium was suggesting, which is freedom instead of having fear run people's lives. So it was really interesting to see that, man. It was really cool to see that. And I look forward to next week's episode. This is your boy Chase Smith. You guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment, all that other shit.